Well, week one of the NBA is over officially, and today I'm going to be giving you my NBA week one recap. So we'll go over everything, all the teams' records for the season. I'll also throw in what their standings are right now. The standings are where they are pretty irrelevant right now because there's only been a few games played, but I'll tell you guys the standings anyway. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button on this video. And let's get started for today's recap. I have everything set on my laptop right now. Let me tell you guys the results of the predictions. And if you guys want to go back to all my shorts where I did the predictions for every game, make sure to do that. If I made any mistakes, tell me where I went wrong. But let me get into it. So on Tuesday, there was 2 games, and I went 2-0 on the predictions. I predicted both those games right for Tuesday for the first game. Then on Wednesday, I predicted 12 games. There was 12 games on Wednesday. That was the next opening night game. I got 6 correct and 6 incorrect, so not that great of a day for Wednesday. It was so-so. Thursday, there was only 2 games. I got 1 correct. I got 1 incorrect. I predicted the Thunder to beat the Pacers. That was correct, but I predicted the Nuggets to beat the Warriors, which was incorrect. So I got 1-1. Friday was just embarrassing. I got 4 correct and 8 incorrect. I know that was a disaster. To see me, that might have been the lowest I've ever gotten. But this is the first year I'm actually sharing my predictions with you guys for every single game day, which is good because I'm expanding what I put on this channel. But 4 and 8, not a good way to do the Friday predictions. I feel like the weekends are usually very unexpected. Saturday, I got 3 correct, 2 incorrect. There was only 5 games. Sunday, there was 9 games, which I got 6 correct and 3 incorrect. By the way, on Sunday, I went to the Union playoff game where they won in penalty kicks. I do have some shorts that I need to upload for that, so stay tuned. I will be uploading my time at the Union game. I just been uploading a lot of these basketball shorts, but I will show you guys in person what I saw. It was a really great game. And yesterday, on Monday, I got 9 correct and 2 incorrect. What a great day for me yesterday on predictions. I believe I got the Lakers and Blazers prediction wrong. I predicted the Lakers to win, and the Blazers ended up winning by a good amount, too. I think they won by like 14, so that's really good for them. I know the Lakers didn't have Luka or LeBron playing yesterday. And as you can see, Austin Reeves has played very well with that, not having them. But as you know, they can't just win off of Austin Reeves' 40-piece chicken nuggets. So, yeah, so that's how that went. And I believe the Jazz beat the Suns, and I predicted the Suns. And we'll get into how good the Jazz have been later today. 31 correct this week, 22 incorrect. That's going to be my total to start off the year on the predictions. So let's get into each team individually. The records for each team. Let's do alphabetical order. Let's start with the Atlanta Hawks. They start off the year 1-3. Now that is shocking. If you look, so they're 11th in the East right now. If you look at their schedule, you would think there's some pretty winnable games on there. You know, they had the Raptors in their opener. They had the Magic, which they won. The Magic, as you know, have been disappointing. We'll get to them soon. The Thunder, obviously, you can't win that one, especially without having Kristaps Porzingis, Jalen Johnson, and Zachary Risache playing in that game. That's not a good thing. Then they lost to the Bulls yesterday, which, I mean, a lot of that has to do with just they choked a lot towards the end of the game, and Dyson Daniels has been terrible offensive. Like, you cannot rely on Dyson Daniels in a big moment. I mean, like, he'll never come through offensively in a big moment, which you can't rely on him. And Quinn Snyder leaving Trae Young and Kristaps Porzingis on the bench for a very long time was hurting them. I think Quinn Snyder should have been fired this offseason. So, 1-3, not a good start for the Hawks. Trae Young's done a very good job with turning the ball over a lot less. I'm seeing he only had 1 turnover yesterday, but just very poor start for the Hawks and very underwhelming. They should have started off really good, in my opinion, but that's why I think the Celtics 1-3. As a Sixers fan, you love to see the Celtics off to a horrible start, 1-3, 13th in the East. Now, like I said, the standings don't really matter because the Hawks are 1-3 and they're 11th. So, the standings are not really important at this time of year because there's only a handful of games played. But the big thing is Jason Tatum being injured for the Celtics. That's hurting them a lot. I know Jaylen Brown has been good. I know Anthony Simons has been good. Really, the key thing, though, is star player being out. But to be honest, like, how could they be on this big of a downfall if they lost their star player? But they were such a good team last season, and you mean to tell me that your star player is hurting you, that being out is hurting you that much? Like, is Jason Tatum really that valuable to his team? Like if the Celtics are doing this bad without him, then you have to think about how valuable Jason Tatum is to this Boston Celtics roster. Brooklyn Nets, they start off the season 0-4, 15th in the East, pretty expected for the Nets. They just made a mess of they had so many first round picks and they made a mess of it. This was the opportunity for the Nets that they could have been back. They could have just built their team up. The Nets every single year, like, you have no idea what the Nets are doing with their team. They're just a bad to worse team. Like, every year they finish just outside of the play-in tournament, or even just a straight up horrible team, and you just don't know what they're doing to try to get their team to be a better team. But they didn't really do that good with in my opinion, they didn't do good with the draft picks, so we'll see. Then we go to Charlotte Hornets. They're shocking, 2-1 to begin, 4th in the East. Nice job from Charlotte to begin. LaMelo Ball has been playing amazing. Will it last, though? Will it last? Because we know how the Hornets can be a great team when everybody's healthy. We know that. They can be a playoff team. That's why I predicted them so low to finish so low this season. Because, first off, the East is talented, and the East is very wide open this season. But look at Brandon Miller is already injured for the Hornets. Like, think about how quickly in the season, like, they can have these great starts to a season where they're like 3 or 4-0, let's say, but then they get all these injuries to LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, and they'll start tanking and getting worse and worse. And health is a big priority for the Hornets. Chicago Bulls, they're first in the East, 3-0 to begin. Wasn't expecting that. As always, Ayu Dosunmu doesn't show up against most teams, but when it's against the Hawks specifically, he plays like MJ. Like, it's crazy to think. Like, he just looks like a superstar when he plays the Hawks for some reason. I don't know, but 3-0 is a great start for the Bulls. They better keep it up that way. I mean, I wasn't expecting them to be off to this good of a start. They even beat the Pistons on the opening night, which was shocking to me. I don't know why I'm hearing so much noise. But anyway, 3-0 is a good start for the Bulls. Let's move on. And by the way, the Bulls are without Kobe White, which is even more impressive. So hopefully for Bulls fans out there that they can keep it that way. Cleveland Cavaliers, 3-1 to begin. 3rd seed in the East. And 3-1 is good. I mean, especially because they had the Knicks on their opener, which they lost. It's okay. It's expected. The Knicks are a great team. It was expected for them to get a loss against a good team, but they won when they needed to win, and they're 3-1. So good start for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they'll have another great season. Mavericks 1-3, 14th. Cooper Flag is off to a pretty good start. Been inconsistent, I feel like. It's only 4 games, remember, but he was not great in his opener. He did get a double-double, which was great. He missed a good amount of shots, though, and but his next 2 games after that, he did great, despite turning the ball over a good amount. But then yesterday, he just fell off. I hope down the line he can be a little bit more consistent. Anthony Davis is off to a good start this season. Really, the big thing that's hurting the Mavericks is not having Kyrie Irving on this team right now is a big setback for Dallas. I think they'll need him if they want to be in the playoffs. So 1-3, not terrible for the start. Not a terrible start under the circumstances and how difficult of a schedule they've had to start the season. 6th seed in the West, Denver Nuggets, 2-1 to begin. They lost to the Warriors, which is, I mean, the Warriors are a good team. Nothing to sneeze at there. Jokic already having 3 triple-doubles in all the games that he's played and leading the league in assists, being 2nd in rebounds. I mean, he's the best player in the world. But really, when it comes to scoring, it's been Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon who's been leading the way with the scoring. In their first game, Aaron Gordon had 50 points. And yesterday, Jamal Murray had 40. So, really, they're leading the way with scoring. And Jokic just running the offense with his playmaking and his rebounding. 8th in the East, Detroit Pistons, 2-2. Pretty expected. The Bulls was a big loss. I didn't expect that to happen. Big win against the Rockets. Impressive from the Pistons. And Cade Cunningham, I feel like he can be playing a little bit better than to try to match up to the season that he had last year. But that's just my opinion. 3rd in the West, Golden State Warriors, 3-1. So good start for Golden State. Steph Curry at 37, doesn't matter. Still playing like an MVP. Draymond Green doing great with his passing as always. Jimmy Butler, I've said before, he's a great free throw shooter, but he does get bailed out a lot when he gets the softest calls in the NBA. But 12th seed in the West, Houston Rockets, 1-2. Disappointing. I mean, I said that the Rockets, a lot of people think the Rockets are going to be this championship contender team. I don't see it. I really don't. I don't know what it is. I don't see it in this team. I predicted them to finish 6th in the West, and they'll be maybe 1st or 2nd round, but I just don't see them getting anywhere with Kevin Durant. I mean, if the Rockets prove me wrong, then good for them to shut me up. But I just feel I don't believe in this team. 14th in the East, Indiana Pacers, 0-3. Offense is struggling without Halliburton and McConnell right now. They're relying to go deep into the roster, and not to mention they don't even have Andrew Nembhard for defense. So, like, what do they have without those three key players? Fifth in the West is the Clippers, 2-1. Embarrassing loss to the Jazz, but they started to pick it back up. Eighth in the Lakers. Eighth place in the West is the Lakers, 2-2. It's actually not bad considering they have lost Luka for 2 games. LeBron's been out the whole season so far. So, realize how good Luka could be if he doesn't get injured so much. He gets injured a lot. And if he doesn't get to the limit, he can't win MVP like that. If he doesn't get to the limit of games. Grizzlies, 10th in the 10th in the West. Sorry, I don't know why it took me a little bit to get that out of my mouth. To 10th in the West and 2-2. Injuries been a big factor for Memphis, unfortunately, because they can be a great team, but injuries are just hurting them. 5th in the East is the Heat, 2-1. Surprising because they are missing Tyler Hero, but Bam Adebayo has really picked it up offensively this season. 7th in the East is the Milwaukee Bucks, 2-1. Giannis playing like an MVP as always. 9th in the West is the Minnesota Timberwolves, 2-2. Unfortunately for them, they lost Anthony Edwards to a hamstring injury. Without him, this team is a playing team at best. 15th in the West, is the New Orleans Pelicans, 0-3 to begin. DeJounte Murray not playing is a big hurt for them. They're getting better and better, though. I can see it. They are getting closer and closer to getting that first win on the season. When will happen, I don't know. Zion's playing very well, but he just got another injury, bone contusion. So we'll see how much that will hurt them. 6th in the West is the New York. 6th in the East is the New York Knicks, 2-1, and a good team. I predict them to finish first in the East. We'll see if that happens. 2nd in the West is the Oklahoma City Thunder, 4-0 to begin. What we would expect, even without Jalen Williams playing, Alex Caruso not playing. That doesn't matter for this team. They are still that dominant of an offense and defensive team. And with Chet Holmgren and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander playing together, there should be no issue for this team. 12th in the East is the Orlando Magic, 1-3. I mean, the Magic have just been very disappointing. 12th in the East to begin, 1-3. I predicted them to finish 3rd in the East, and they have just been bad to start off the season. I just don't know what's going wrong with this team. I don't know if their defense is falling apart a little bit without Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. I don't know what it is, but something needs to be fixed. My Philadelphia 76ers are 2nd in the East. Impressive. I hope that it stays this way. 3-0, are you kidding me? I didn't expect this from my Sixers. I predicted them to finish 11th in the East, and I feel like an asshole right now for predicting them to finish that low. But remember, the season just started. Hopefully it stays this way for my Sixers. I hope that they finish as the best team in the league. If this can continue like this, Maxi's the leading scorer in the NBA right now. I mean, it would be Luka if he wasn't injured, but he doesn't really count right now on the list. But without him playing, it's Maxi at the moment with averaging 37 points a game. He's playing like over 40 minutes at night, which is wild to me. Hopefully Jared McCain will be back soon. And Paul George is just a waste of space, okay? He just doesn't belong on this team. Like, look at this nice flow that we're having, and we're really going to ruin it with Paul George. Just keep him on the bench, or trade him away. I don't want him. 13th in the West is the Suns, 1-3. Not surprising to me. 7th in the West is the Blazers, 2-2. What a nice start for the Blazers. I predicted them to finish the worst team in the West, but they're off to a good start, shutting me up pretty quickly. 11th in the West is the Kings, 1-2. First in the West is the Spurs, 4-0. I mean, Wemby's just amazing. What can I say? Stephon Castle starting off with averaging like 6 turnovers, which is crazy, but still good offensively. 10th is the Raptors, 1-3 to start off. They could be better because their defense is amazing. 4th in the West is the Jazz, 2-1. They're surprising me. The Jazz have a lot of great defensive talent. That idiot Ace Bailey sucks so badly to start, but in his defense, he's not getting the play time that he deserves. I feel like he should be starting for Utah, but right now I wouldn't start him because they're off to a good start. They have a good flow going on, so the Jazz better keep it up. 9th in the East is the Wizards, 1-2. So there is my Week 1 recap. This is a pretty long video. If you guys want, I can do shorter videos in the future, and so you guys don't have to like wait all the time. I know people don't have the attention span to sit through an entire video like this, but yeah, it's my and one more thing. I won in fantasy this week. I won, so I won at the beginning of the year. Good start. Let me know what you guys think of. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.